We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
Harris picks her running mate. The squad loses another member. Another plot to kill Donald Trump, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. Vice President Kamala Harris selected Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate for the 2024 election. Harris chose Walz over Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, who is considered to be the top contender. Democratic media pundits have been split on the pick, with some expressing concern about the choice. My fears about Harris are that she is incredibly bad at public speaking and that she reliably makes bad political decisions. So far, she has done nothing to allay either fear. I'm not saying she can't win, but I wish she gave me more confidence, Washington Post columnist Megan McArdle wrote. Professor and podcaster Damon Linker reacted, rather than pick the very popular governor of a neck-and-neck must-win purple state, Harris chose a dime-a-dozen blue state governor who gives feels to progressives. That's about what I'd have expected from her a month ago. MSNBC's Charlie Sykes says Governor Tim Walz is not a safe pick for Vice President Harris and doesn't appeal to centrists like Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro could. Despite announcing her running mate, Harris has still not taken a single question from the press since Biden dropped out of the race. The House Oversight Committee is investigating Vice President Kamala Harris's role in dealing with the crisis at the southern border, demanding that Customs and Border Protection turn over any internal communications with her office on illegal immigration. The mass illegal migration under the Biden-Harris administration has contributed to murders, sexual assaults, and serious bodily injuries committed against numerous Americans at the hands of illegal aliens, Chairman James Comer said in a letter to Acting CBP Commissioner Troy Miller. The committee requests documents and communications to understand Vice President Harris's role in the worst border crisis in American history. Former President Trump has moved into the lead among Jewish voters in deep blue New York. Trump garnered the support of 50% of likely Jewish voters in New York, according to a Siena Research Institute poll released Tuesday, a slight lead over Vice President Harris, who garnered the selection of 49% of respondents. While the lead for Trump is slim, it marks a dramatic change from the former president's prospects against President Biden, who in June led Trump among likely Jewish voters 52% to 46% in the state. The poll was taken before Vice President Harris chose her running mate. Political strategists expect that decision to cause Trump's lead among Jewish voters to grow. A Pakistani man with ties to the Iranian government sought to carry out a political assassination in the United States, a case that was investigated weeks before a gunman tried to kill former President Trump at a Pennsylvania campaign rally. Asif Merchant, age 46, traveled to New York City and worked with a hitman to carry out the assassinations in late August or early September, federal prosecutors said in a court complaint. The complaint stated the plot was intended to target high-ranking U.S. officials, potentially including Trump. Working on behalf of others overseas, Merchant planned to murder of U.S. government officials on American soil, said U.S. Attorney Breen Peace for the Eastern District of New York. This prosecution demonstrates that this office and the entire U.S. Department of Justice will take swift and decisive action to protect our nation's security, our government officials, and our citizens from foreign threats. Incumbent progressive Representative Cori Bush lost the Democratic primary in Missouri against a well-funded challenger backed by pro-Israel group AIPAC. Bush's loss to St. Louis County prosecuting attorney Wesley Bell is a major electoral win for the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, which has targeted members of Congress who criticized Israel on the national stage. The Congresswoman is the second member of the left-leaning House squad to lose a Democratic primary this summer, after Representative Jamal Bowman was defeated in June. With 99% of the vote counted, Bell had 51.2% to Bush's 45.6%, according to the Associated Press projection. One day after the S&P 500's worst session since 2022, stocks partially rebounded, putting fears of a recession on hold. Tuesday started well with Japan's Nikkei, which had cratered on Monday, logging its best day since 2008, giving U.S. investors some positive mojo. From there, U.S. stocks, including Magnificent Seven stalwarts like Microsoft and Nvidia, and both major cryptocurrencies, moved up. Get used to the volatility, one Bank of America analyst told Bloomberg. The S&P 500 is still up over 10% this year, despite this week's turbulence. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.